Hello, everybody. Welcome to A Study in Celluloid. I'm Spencer Henderson, and today I'm going to be talking to you about Race, directed by Stephen Hopkins. Race tells the true story of Olympic gold medalist athlete Jesse Owens, and I guess you could say it's a biopic of Jesse Owens. It tells the story of when he went to college at Ohio State University, when he ran for them, which eventually led to him competing in the Olympics in Berlin in the 1930s, under the regime of Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. This movie was fine. It was pretty good. It wasn't anything too great or anything mind-blowingly good. The reason why I say that is there's a ton of movies that are made that tell the same exact story. A couple that come to mind immediately are Remember the Titans, Glory Road, 42. Any of those movies I actually probably prefer to this movie, and let me explain why. This movie, on a technical level, there were lots of problems with the editing, I thought, especially in like the first 20 minutes of the movie. There were a couple scenes where I was just like, man, this is like, oh, and the pacing in the first hour of this narrative was really all over the place. There was a storyline that they completely could have gotten rid of and focused on Jesse Owens just a little bit more, because that's what all of us want to see. That's what all of us paid to go see with this movie. He played the second string at a lot of points in this movie, and I really think that he should have been the main focus of this story. And I thought that you didn't really get to know his character too well. You got to know the very surface level of things of Jesse Owens, but you never got to understand what were his motivations when it came to him being this great athlete. And I think a lot of that is to do with the script. In this movie, an actor named Stephen James plays Jesse Owens, and I thought he did a pretty good job in this role. I don't know if I'd seen him before, but I really thought he did just fine as Jesse Owens in this movie, and I'd be willing to see him in some more performances. It wasn't anything like mind-blowingly good because he wasn't working with like the best script that he could have been working with, but as an actor I thought he did fine. Jason Sudeikis is in this movie as well. I can't think of any other dramatic roles that he's been in. Maybe there are some, but I'm blanking on him right now if he is. He also did pretty well in this movie. I enjoyed the scenes between those two characters. And I really enjoyed this movie when it got into the last 30 minutes or so when they go over to Berlin for the Olympics. There were a couple scenes that were completely pointless, sprinkled throughout this movie, and a couple of them were in that Berlin Olympics section of the movie, I suppose. Carice Van Houten, who is an actress who plays also in Game of Thrones, in this movie she plays somebody who was hired by Joseph Goebbels to shoot the Olympics for the Nazi regime in the 1930s. And honestly, I think a movie about that character would have been super interesting as well, and I really thought that that story added a lot to what was going on in these Olympics during this time. Jeremy Irons plays a character in this movie who helped the United States get into the Olympic Games, and his storyline was completely pointless to the movie. I don't think it added anything to the movie at all. I think they could have cut every single scene with him and focused more on Jesse Owens, and the movie would have been a lot better. Overall, I enjoyed Race, but I didn't love Race. I think there's a better movie that could have been made about Jesse Owens. But if this is something that you're interested in, I think that you should probably go check this out. If you're into sports movies, you'll probably get something out of it. I'm going to give Race a 6 out of 10. It's a perfectly fine movie, nothing mind-blowingly good. Coming to you from Colorado, I'm Spencer Henderson, and this is A Study in Celluloid.